Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 5 already of the Modern Gaming Podcast with Woody and Noble. And tonight, bring you a very special, fantastic, wonderful guest, PopSixxSquish. Those of you that either follow her stream on Twitch, Twitter, and all of her socials, she has been gracious enough to join us tonight. Pop, how are you?
I am fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Woody, what's going on?
Wait, I'm chilling, 2 ranked games and Valorant, 2 L's. We're chilling, it's good.
You're having a good time. Well, I mean,
fantastic time.
The last time that you probably saw me, Woody, I probably had like a full beard.
Yeah, you had a beard. You look scary now.
I know it's different. It's weird. So, chat, just word of advice for those of you that grew up in the Midwest. First off, I know Woody already disagrees with me on this. It's called Cornhole. It's not bags. Or whatever.
Bags? Who calls it bags?
Thank you. It's Cornhole.
Who calls it bags?
So we had.
I grew up in a different world. Okay, I don't know.
Hold on. I have lived all over this country. I have literally never heard it called bags.
And you literally live in Iowa, which is like Iowa's like 90% corn.
I grew up like 40 minutes south of Chicago.
And they call it bags. It's bags. What exactly? So we had a couple people
bags,
over to the house for my roommate's birthday. He just turned 32, and he bought a cornhole set, and he was running his mouth, and us all for the most part being casino people and having the itch to gamble because we're all not working right now. He's like, I'll bet you in the best 2 out of 3 series that if I lose, you can dye my hair any color that you want. And I said, all right, bet, easy. What do I have to put up? He's like, if you lose, you got to shave your beard entirely. And my wife likes my beard. She's like, she hasn't seen me without a beard, I think, in at least like 4 years. So with her permission, she's like, yeah, you can do it. And I was like, all right, it's a bet.
Her permission.
And
that's a good husband.
And we yeah, right. So we won the first game. We were up 12-0 in the second game, blow the entire thing. And as a result, on Tuesday, I shaved my entire beard. I was actually worried that my son wasn't going to recognize me because he just turned 1. And you see all those videos where, dads like go completely clean shaven and the son just starts crying, or daughter, like just profusely because they have no idea who you are. But he was fine. He just like looked at me and started laughing. So I'm like, thanks. I appreciate that. So that was my week leading up to all this, but it'll grow back. Hopefully I'll have a full beard again before I have to go back to work, and nobody will ever know this happened, other than the.
That's what I did with my hair. Like, my hair's never usually this short. I just buzzed it because I couldn't get an actual haircut.
Yeah,
and get it dyed again. So I just.
That's going to be the next thing.
My hair was so long I couldn't stand it anymore.
That's going to be the next purchase. Is I'm probably going to have to buy a clip set and just let my wife cut my hair, because before too long it's going to start growing over my headset. Probably.
My brother, he just buzzes his head all the time, and he does it himself. And so I gave in, and I was like, yeah, just buzz my head real quick, and yeah.
So go ahead.
I think my husband's about at that level too. He's done.
Yeah, it's rough. It's so bad.
Yeah.
So for those of you that are just joining Woody's stream, never listened to an episode of the podcast or anything like that before, as I said, Ashley is our first guest. We've been trying to get somebody on for a while, just schedules and things like that haven't worked out. The VOD of Woody's stream with all the webcams and overlay and everything will be uploaded onto our YouTube channel, hopefully Saturday, if not Sunday morning. You'll see all of Ashley's socials, which we'll plug before we're done. So you guys can go follow her stream and Instagram, Twitter, and it's really nice because everything's exactly the same. So it'd be easy to go follow her, check out her streams, which I highly recommend. Been doing so for a while. I don't know how long I've been following you, but I feel like it's been like close to a year already.
It's been almost since I started, yeah.
And it's definitely going to be, you never know what you're going to get when you go into a pop stream, that's for sure. So definitely check that out. You'll get all the info, like I said, on the VOD off the YouTube channel, and we're going to try to have some fun with all this tonight. So in the last episode on the VOD, I was reading some of the comments on our YouTube channel, and somebody that goes by KT suggested, and he asked, he's like, I don't know if you guys have talked about this before, but what I'd like to hear is just kind of the image of the Twitch streamer. You know, like how much do you put into your self-marketing, your social media presence? How do you portray yourself on stream, like whether it's through language or, you know, off-color jokes, or who do you surround yourself with? Like, do you stream with people that are known for that kind of stuff? Do you shy away for it? Et cetera, et cetera. And I actually thought it was a really good topic choice because you see kind of more so on like a pro level, and I'm sure it happens just on Twitch generically, that, you know, you have these 15, 16-year-old kids that were going pro in Fortnite that are on their Twitch streams using racial slurs and all kinds of things like that, and they're just getting what I would perceive to be like a slap on the wrist by their org, you know, by like FaZe Clan or whoever, but they're not necessarily getting dropped all the time. And it kind of begs the question that, you know, if it continues to happen with the same major organization like that, is it an internal problem? Is it just they're not vetting these kids? Because I mean, that's literally what they are. I mean, right? I mean, these, you know, 100 Thieves and FaZe and people like that, they're not going out signing like 24-year-old gamers who might, you know, be a little more mature and things like that. So I'm curious just kind of like what kind of development and things that, you know, you two go through as Twitch streamers, and like who do you associate yourselves with? Like if you followed somebody that, or you even stream with somebody on a regular basis and found out that somebody did something like that, like they dropped a racial slur or just some kind of completely insensitive comment on their stream, like would that change your perspective of, you know, would you be worried that if you continue to play with them, would that sink your stream because you're tying yourself to that?
I mean, anytime you stream with somebody, you always have that concern of what are they going to say? And if they let that slip on their stream and they know that they're on camera, they know that they're on a microphone and people are listening, what's to say that's not going to happen on your stream? And anybody you have on your stream is a representation of you. I honestly believe that because you're associating yourself with that. You're saying, hey, come join me. I trust you to be on my stream. And we work hard for what we have and what we do. So you have to be careful who you allow to come in because they could potentially ruin that for you. Because people are guilty by association in our society. You've seen streamer Twitter. It's it's toxic, it's scary, but that's what happens all the time. Oh, well, you know, this person is, you know, friends with this person and they're, you know, not completely condemning them, so they must feel the same way as they are. They must behave the same way. You know, that's kind of, they go hand in hand. So you do have to be really careful with that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, I'm always cautious of like playing with new people and everything like that too, because you never know what people are gonna say, um, yada yada. But I mean, like, who you play with is practically just as important as yourself on stream. I mean, if you let people, you know, say idiotic things and you don't do anything about it, it's just as bad as pretty much you just saying it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like, so are you saying like what do I look for?
Yeah, I
To
mean,
play with?
both of you, yeah, like just in general, like, you know, like, because I mean, there's a lot of people out there, you know, you see it in bigger Twitch chats and things like that. They're like, why don't you play with randos? And why don't you just invite, you know, so and so to your stream?
Always, yeah.
And I think to your point, it's extremely sketchy because it literally is going to take one person to say one stupid thing to completely derail what you've built.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I mean, let's see here. When I was in when I was mainly streaming Fortnite for forever, I went through like probably a solid couple month period of like trying to do family friendly as much as I could. But like I've kind of since then I've kind of just taken like the Jordan approach when it comes to like cussing and stuff like that, where I just hold it back myself. Like if someone else says fuck or whatever, like I don't care. Like it's just
Yeah,
to me
you
swearing
can't.
isn't that big of a deal. Obviously it's other type of terms that people use that are not good.
Right.
Right.
Drop like a R word or something like that. We're gonna have some issues.
Hmm.
But I
Yeah,
usually like to
which
whenever someone asks to play or something like that, if they're a streamer, I usually like to go back in their VOD and like I'll watch like 5-10 minutes or something, and just I can usually tell within that 5-10 minutes what kind of person they are.
Yeah.
Or like what
Like
what they say.
like I
Whatever.
thought, and I think it says a lot about you, Ashley, the way that you kind of just conduct yourself, and not even just on Twitch, but when I last week reached out and asked you to do this, within 5 or 10 minutes, because you, to my knowledge, had never gone to Woody Stream or anything like that, and you immediately scoped out his Twitter and was like, doesn't seem like that anything stood out to where it'd be potentially alarming. But I mean, that was literally the first thing that you thought to do before even asking any questions about like what the topics would be or anything like that. You're like, is this somebody that I want to join a podcast for?
Well,
So,
yeah,
and I don't know that most people would have done that.
Well, I mean, I've known you for a while. Like you've, played Overwatch with me on stream before. Like we've talked, I know you. I didn't know Woody, and so I was like, well, before I even associate myself with this person, before I let myself in, I need to go and look and make sure there's nothing crazy, there's nothing, that I am going to be tied to after doing this. And I feel like all streamers should do that. Anybody in the public
Absolutely.
eye in general, because you know there are a lot of people who just they take any opportunity they can get, and yeah, absolutely do that, but you have to remember your integrity when you're doing that. You have to remember your brand when you're doing that, like that, because that's what we are. We're a brand.
Right.
And so if you're not thinking on that level, you're going to get yourself in trouble.
And I think
Like,
that
bottom line.
word is what a lot of new streamers just don't think about, is the fact that you are an identity.
Yeah.
It's not just
Absolutely.
you as a person,
especially when you're a small streamer too. Like
Yeah.
bad publicity. If you're like when Dubs, drop the N word and stuff like that.
Yep.
Or Alinity with the things that she does. Like when you're already established, publicity is kind of, no matter if it's bad or good,
Yeah.
it's basically it's going to benefit them. However, if you're a small streamer and you get bad publicity, it kills you. It literally just you're toast. You're not growing from there unless you're already well established. You're done. And like,
Right.
I mean, your entire career is selling your personality to people.
Mm-hmm. And nobody, nobody's going to tie themselves from a company standpoint to that. If they like, your only option as a small streamer at that point would be to switch platforms, and even then, you like, it's almost like kind of going into like witness protection for streamers. Like you're gonna have to change your entire identity, change your name, change everything, so that literally you're starting over.
All right, guys, I'm going to D Live.
That's it. And I mean, for some people, it takes years to build what they have, to have it gone in 10 seconds.
Literally, like, in 10 seconds. Yep.
I saw, I can't remember his name, but somebody on Twitch lost one of their sponsors because they went into somebody else's stream, said something stupid. One of their viewers went to that sponsor and said, hey, here's this VOD, and the sponsor pulled out immediately and said, we appreciate being notified about this, we don't associate with this, and that person's done. Like, all for something that could have been prevented. And
and also what Raven said too, like what your community is too represents you. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
That's my problem with Tfue as well. Like, honestly, Turner is, he's not a bad guy, but his chat is like literally the most toxic thing, thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
And that's the thing with,
I mean, think about how old those kids are.
Yeah, and your community goes in.
He got like a 3-day ban or something like that because he raided somebody, and then his entire chat was like literally bullying the dude.
And that's where your community comes in as soon as you hit that raid button. Because I Woody, I know how you feel about this, and Pop, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on it. But when you choose to raid somebody, it's not just you that's like, you're not just introducing yourself to that streamer, right? And saying, hi, how's it going? I saw you're playing this game. You're literally introducing everything that you have to that person. And you're
Right.
putting so much trust in what you've built and the people that you surround yourself with to not go into somebody else's chat and be an idiot.
Right. And see, I feel like especially with my community, I have such high standards for behavior anyway. I mean, I'm a mom. So like if I don't tolerate it in my house, I'm not going to tolerate it in my chat. Like
It's a good way to
bottom
look at it.
line. That's just how it is. And I wouldn't want to have that kind of chat in the first place. But second, I would not bring that to anybody. If I thought there was a reason like that they were going to behave that way, there's no way I would subject somebody else to that.
Right.
But at the same time, there are streamers that I know are not everybody's cup of tea. And I also wouldn't bring my chat if knowing who's in there at the time, if I don't think they're necessarily going to feel comfortable with whatever content that streamer produces, if that makes sense.
No,
Right,
absolutely.
right.
So it kind of goes both ways with raiding, and it kind of gets
Like it
'cause
wouldn't
there are
make
some-
sense for like Nick A30 to raid somebody like Tifu when he has like
Yeah.
a family friendly chat and you send him to Tifu. Like that wouldn't make sense.
you wouldn't do that.
Right.
No.
No. You'd
No.
poison your own chat.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest story that honestly has probably come as like a direct ban from Twitch wasn't even a streamer. I don't know how much. I mean, it's not like there's anything to follow in sports really, but so when NASCAR stopped all their live races, they went and started an Invitational Pro Series with all the drivers on iRacing.com. Which, if you don't know what that is, it's the best simulation racer in the world. So you just run it from a computer or a racing simulator, sign up for the membership, and you can literally race as close to the real thing as possible. So NASCAR Cup Series driver Kyle Larson was on a Twitch stream for an endurance race, some with a whole bunch of like IndyCar drivers and NASCAR drivers, and somehow didn't know that he claims he didn't know it was being live streamed, and he dropped right, and he dropped the N-word.
Oh,
No dispute. Like, there's no way that you could argue that he didn't say what he said. And within 36 hours, he lost his NASCAR, indefinitely suspended him. His organization fired him. All of his sponsors dropped him. And now he's a 28-year-old, used to be a NASCAR driver. And I mean, he's got no other background than that. I mean, he's been driving race cars since he was 4. And you lost everything.
You lost everything.
In a matter of 3 seconds.
Do you know how you prevent that? You never say it in the first
Yeah,
place.
just-
and
Exactly.
Then it doesn't slip.
Like
And then it doesn't slip. It's great.
I hate the live disparity too. Like whenever
Yes.
when Dubs said it, literally the first reaction by I forget who the other kid was in the party, but like the first
I'm
reaction
live,
was
I'm
I'm streaming,
live."
I'm streaming,
Yeah.
I'm streaming. Not like, bro, what the fuck?
And that's
Yes.
actually, that's what
Like,
one of the,
you
I
know.
think it
So
was
problematic.
Josef Newgarden or one of the other drivers in there, somebody asked like, or somebody said exactly that, like, dude, I'm streaming. And then everybody else was like, hush, 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 don't say anything, don't say anything. Obviously and it went viral super quick. Like I remember waking up
Yeah.
that morning, was like, oh my God, what happened? As soon as I heard the clip, I was like, he's finished. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no way
That's
that
it.
any sponsor, especially in a sport like NASCAR that is kid friendly, family friendly, the whole 9 yards, is going to support a guy who makes, racist comments like that, especially when they have African American drivers racing in their series.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
No chance.
it's not just, a Twitch thing. Like, it's literally in life, guys. Like, you have to be careful with your just
Yeah, I mean, just like
media
getting a
presence in
regular
general.
job. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's like you work in a bank or customer service or whatever. You can't do it there. You can't.
Yeah.
You just it doesn't work anywhere. And again, if you just don't say it in your day to day, it's not gonna slip.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Like if it's
Like,
not in your vocabulary on the
Stuff
regular,
like that doesn't slip.
right?
Right.
Right. It's not
Yeah,
like
so-
one day it just randomly pops into your head and you accidentally say it. That's just not how that
it's-
works.
yeah.
Right.
I hate when
And
people
like,
say it like that.
yeah. And that's like one of the biggest things for anybody starting out is like, you have to realize literally everything that you say now is out there for the world. But I'd be
Mhm.
curious if you knew somebody, or if you were to go on Twitter like in the morning and had a notification from somebody saying, hey, I just got my computer looking to start streaming for the first time. What advice could you give me? Like, what would either one of you say to somebody who's streaming for the first time and literally wants to make Twitch a career, not just like a hobby, but they want to do this full time, be able to support themselves, build a fantastic community, the whole 9 yards?
Be yourself, but be smart about it. Like,
I mean, you have to be yourself.
yeah.
You like, because if you're not yourself, then you're just gonna like streaming is just gonna be a job. That's also the part of the family friendly thing that I just like eventually it tore me down because I'm like okay, first of all, I don't really see a problem saying fuck, but obviously being brand friendly is good. But like there comes a certain point though where like Courage and Jordan and Tim, those like they need those like the dark mode streams, stuff like that. They need that kind of stuff. And because if they try to like throw out this like not fake but certain image all the time, it's just going to make streaming feel like a job. It's going to make it not really enjoyable, and it's just going to burn you out. It's going to burn you out hard. And so if like you're not yourself, it ain't worth, bro.
Well, and people can see it. People can see it really quickly when you're not genuine and you're not yourself. And I've seen so many streamers go through so many personas trying to find out what works, trying to see what gets people in and what keeps them there. And you can tell that they're not being themselves. You can tell that they're putting on an act. And I'm not saying that there's not a place for that, because there's some people that can do a persona and do it really well. And if that's what you want to do for your content, then that's fine. But if you're just doing what you think people want to see and not what you want to do, you're not going to get anywhere, because people are going to be able to tell that you're not happy. Now, for you, like you said, you try to keep your language a little bit cleaner. Whereas me, I can't help but drop an F-bomb every 3 seconds. That's my content. That's like my entire thing. I mean, I just did my channel trailer, and it's like a whole slew of clips of me just cursing, because it's what I do. It's but to each their own. Like, everybody has to do their own thing. If I were to sit here and try like to not curse and no, that wouldn't go well. It would last about 5 minutes, and then I would be like, okay, well, I'm done. That was a good stream. See you guys later.
Bye, guys.
It was fun while it lasted.
Right. I could never play any of the games I want to play because most of them make me rage. Like, that's I'm like, okay, well, we're playing Stardew all day. Like, I love Stardew, don't get me wrong, but
it's a stress reliever too. It's like, when like, especially if I played a competitive game, there's no way I can keep it family friendly. There's no way.
like I can't play Call of Duty and not like
no, oh god, no.
That name.
God,
like, that's just not a thing.
No chance.
Yeah.
Like, I go insane trying to keep that in.
Yeah, you can't put and I think maybe that's some of the difference, or maybe the misconception, that people think like the niche, or the thing, that's how you say it, the niche that you're trying to find isn't the personality. It's in your content. Like, probably the best example I can think of somebody who's a personality on stream would be Dr. Disrespect. Like, he doesn't walk around looking like that in public. I'm sure he's appearance wise, at least looks different. He might be the same exact person in real life, for all I know.
I think Dr. Disrespect, though, he might be like the exception.
I think he has to be eccentric to be able to play that character so well.
Like, it's impressive to me. Obviously, you could probably do it pretty well when you get thousands and thousands of viewers a day and you make the money that he does. Obviously, I'd be able to play a character too. But at the same time, like,
it's just so effortless for him.
It is, yeah. It's impressive that he
can for years
wear the wig, wear the sunglasses, everything every day.
I couldn't play in all that.
No,
I couldn't play in a wig and glasses and a vest, and there's no way.
Nope.
I'd be cussing because I have to change clothes. Like, not even about the game. Like, get me into like shorts and a t-shirt.
This
like,
is
I can't.
uncomfortable. This stupid wig. But props to him for being able to find his content.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, a persona does work for some people, but for most it doesn't. And you can't pretend to be someone you're not and wonder why nobody wants to watch you. It's because you're miserable, and we can tell. Like, that's what it comes down to. We can tell you're not enjoying yourself. And I personally don't go through Twitch channels when I'm trying to find new streamers and be like, let me see who I can find that looks like they're absolutely having the worst day of their life.
Right,
That sounds
right.
entertaining
Yeah.
to me. Like
Exactly.
that's just it. That's not it. It's
Like
really
unless unless you're Shroud and you're just a god at every game
not.
that you play, like sure somebody might find you through a game, but
Right.
they're not gonna stay if you're not enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Right.
and that's the other thing too, especially if you're trying to start streaming now, like unless you're gonna be winning tournaments or something in a competitive game, you're not gonna grow based on your gameplay because people already have done that. They're already
Right.
there. You have your Shrouds, you have your pro players that have got their clout off of playing a game. The only thing that's gonna get you to grow is yourself, is your personality, is like how you treat yourself on stream. So if you're not enjoying what you're doing, you ain't gonna get anywhere, man. You ain't gonna
Mhm.
you ain't
Right.
gonna get shit.
Right.
Like,
Absolutely.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a whole nother debate. Is like on one side of the coin, you have I love the games that I play. The problem is, like you said, Woody, they're extremely oversaturated with
Yep.
hundreds of thousands of people
Yep.
and things like that. Like for somebody like me who primarily built their community and everything around Overwatch gameplay, like now that so many people are leaving Overwatch to go to Valorant, it would actually help me because
Yeah, well,
in theory I would be higher on the the can't
like
think of the name of the page on the right, and more of your top tier players are leaving Overwatch, and as I continue to climb and go higher, in theory people are gonna, if they're into like good gameplay, they might click on my stream because I'm approaching masters as opposed to somebody else. Like the only niche that you can find in like a competitive game like that, like in Valorant, for example, which is like the big hot thing right now, is that you have to do something with the characters that nobody else is doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Same thing in, like Warzone or anything like that. Like, there are plenty of people out there that are sweating to win games, but it's, if you challenge yourself, like, all right, chat, this game, it's literally knives and pistol kills only, or I'm going to run over as many people as I can. And, you have to find a way to integrate the saturated game in a way that nobody else is doing. Otherwise, you're just going to fall into the mix and really never get captured. But at the end of the day, I do think you have to enjoy playing what you're playing. Similarly to the personality piece of it, where you can't fake it all day. If you're playing a game for 8 hours on a stream that you don't like playing, that's also going to show. And if your chat sees that you're miserable playing the game, they're just going to leave. Or ask like, well, why are you playing this?
Well, and then also too, like they tell you when you're starting out, you shouldn't be a variety streamer because it's harder to grow that way, which yes, it is. Absolutely. However, if you're someone like me, I can't just play one game all the time. I can't. I get bored. I need to change things up. But if I were to try to do that, I would be bored with myself. And if I'm bored with myself, I have to assume that everybody else is also bored with me.
Right. Right.
And so, like, it doesn't matter. Like, okay, well, today I feel like playing Overwatch. I'm probably going to be at the bottom of the board, but it's what I want to play.
Yeah.
You've got to make sure you're having fun no matter what you do. And it's crazy because I've literally heard streamers be like, I don't want to play this, but this is what I'm building my content on. It's like, but why? Why are you doing this? Like, if you're not happy, why are you doing this? You need to find something that makes you happy, or else you're going to just get frustrated and you're going to quit, or you're going to keep going and nobody's going to want to watch you because you're frustrated, and then you're going to wonder why, and then you're going to quit anyway. Like, there's no point in content creation if you're not enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of streamers. Like, I mean, I had the same problem too. Whenever I would, I talked with Mark about this before. Like, whenever I would play Overwatch, I would get like 0 views because no one understands the game, and yada yada. But it would be more enjoyable for people to watch me play Overwatch with a group of people that I have fun with than me sit and play solo Fortnite and lose my freaking mind.
Yeah.
So it was for a while I tried to force myself to play for a very long time. But then you just kind of like, and still today, you know,
Mhm.
when I really love Valorant. I really enjoyed Valorant, playing with people every day, yada yada. And I still get people who are like, why don't you play Fortnite? I'm like, no,
Right.
I'm good. My
Can't.
brain's okay.
It's almost
You know?
almost worse. It's like the same thing as having backseat gamers like telling you how to play the game, and then you
Oh
got
my
people coming in telling you what game to play.
Yeah,
Like-
like I still think of the video that Tim put on TikTok like a week ago. You know, whenever he switches games and everybody's just like, dude, you're not playing Fortnite anymore, dude. The game made you.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
God.
true. Like you can't. Eventually, you just can't keep everybody happy. And I think going into it,
Mm-mm.
you have to realize that. Like if you're the type of
100%.
person that always aims to please, it's going to be hard to be
Even like
successful.
even yesterday, or well, I think it was 2 days ago. Like, you know how I main Viper, right? So like for the first like 2 straight weeks or so, I played Viper like literally every single day, every single Valorant game. And like 2 days ago, someone came in and I was playing Raze or something, and they came in, they're like, "Dude, why aren't you playing Viper?"
How dare you?
God.
How dare you?
Dude, they're like, "Are you sick of Viper already?" I'm like, "It's literally one game. Just wanted to play a different character."
You
Like,
are ruining the viewer experience for me,
Jesus,
streamer.
My bad.
Oh
Like,
my
God.
good lord.
Listen, you're there to entertain them, that one person. You better play.
True.
Yeah, listen, I am
Why-
here now.
why?
I need you to quit that game and start a new one
Right.
and play Viper right now.
True.
You know, make that a channel point redemption where they get to like choose who you're gonna play.
Yeah.
So that way
That-
you're like, fine,
It's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
do it.
It's actually not.
Make it 10 million. Just completely
Jesus.
unreachable
So that's
goal.
how you end the stream in most places. I go in and they'll have
Yeah.
like 10 million points, end the stream. I'm like, man.
That's it. I'm also curious to kind of hear from both of you in terms of like why did you get started in Twitch? Like what made you ultimately decide to be a streamer, and then what's the end goal? Is it just a hobby that you do a couple days a week just to meet people, interact, build a community, have a ton of fun while you're doing it? Is this something that is Twitch like the end all be all, to where you're like, if you could wake up every day and this is what you would do, is that it? Like, is that what you would want to do?
I mean, when I started, it was because we moved. My husband's in the military, so we move like every few years.
Oh, a
And
branch.
he's in the army. He's active
nice.
duty. He's a recruiter
Yeah.
right now. But we move so often that it gets frustrating having to find a job every time we move. And on top of that, I have health issues. And so since he's working so far away from where we live right now, it just made more sense for me to stay home. And I was like, I can't just stay home. That's just not what's in me. Like I have to be doing something. I have to be
Mhm.
productive. I have to. And his friends before had told me I should stream because they would sit right next to him as I was playing Overwatch and they would just hear me while he's like raiding in WoW. I'm screaming at stupid reapers and terrible healers, and
Mark.
like they would just be
Yeah,
they
me.
would just be cracking up. And they were always like, you should stream, you should stream. And I'm like, no. And then when we got here, I was like, well, I have nothing to do all day. Maybe I should stream. And so we talked about it. He was like, yeah, let's get you set up. And I just kind of started as maybe, a hobby or, maybe a way to earn extra money depending on like how it went. And I assumed I was going to be streaming to like nobody for 6 months to a year. And I was fine
Mhm.
with that. Like that was my mental, place when I went into him. Like, it's fine. I'm prepared. Like nobody's going to be there, but like, you know, we'll do it. And it has turned into like one of my favorite things. Like content creation in general is just so much fun. And now I'm like, I can't imagine not doing it. Like I want this to be something that grows and I just wake up and I get to do, and I can take it with me everywhere as long as I've got decent internet. God help me. I hope the next place we move has decent internet.
I'm with you there. I'm
I will
with you.
cry. I will cry. I mean, if we got back to Alaska, I would be like, nope, I'm sorry. I can't. They don't have good enough internet for me. I
That's it.
just can't.
That's it. I
Nope.
love you, but
Internet is literally internet issues are the worst, and they hurt my brain every day.
Oh, I know. In Alaska, our highest we could get up was 10 10 megabytes a second.
Jeez, oh, that's horrible.
Or not up, sorry, down. That was down.
Then
Up,
down.
it was like 1 or
That's
2.
even worse.
Yeah,
God, that's
sorry,
worse
I
than
said that wrong.
AT&T internet.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Gosh.
Alaska. Yeah. So I'm just like, yeah, we're not. No, I can't do that again.
Good lord.
Mm-hmm.
Good lord.
Yeah.
Let's see. For me, let's see. I started streaming because, growing up, I always wanted to be, like sports talk radio host. I would still love to do that. That's a dying, that's a dying market, but that's another thing. But yeah,
It's
so I
almost
wanted to
going
be
like
that.
the podcast route now.
Yeah, like it's only a podcast now, pretty much.
If only you had a
Radio's
podcast to
dead.
talk sports on.
Yeah.
Weird.
Oh, that's
Interesting.
episode 6 content.
But yeah, so I always wanted to do that, and so I played video games literally all the time. I was, I played Overwatch a lot, and I was decent at it, and so, and the PS4 had their built-in feature, to just stream. So I was like, fuck it, why not? So I just went live, and I was like, I mean, my mindset going in was like, if people watch, cool beans. If they don't, I'm still playing a game that I would play anyway.
Right.
So my internet was good for it. So just did it. And then like I didn't buy anything going into it. I didn't buy any equipment or anything. Everything that I have now is made from like my stream and grown from my stream, just starting on the PS4. So and I think like obviously I think buying things to get prepped for it is a good idea, but I don't know, I think it's a good idea to not invest so much money going into it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you do that, then I feel like that just puts more pressure on I don't know, I feel like it just puts more pressure on you to think about the revenue that you're making. And it's like it's going to take you a long time to start really generating like any type of stable revenue in any way.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and if you're a small streamer, like when I click onto somebody's stream, it's very easy for me to tell whether like it's kind of a money grab or not. Very, very easy. So, I don't know. I just enjoyed it, and yeah, the end goal, like if I could do this literally every day, that's what I would want to do.
Right.
So
I
feel like that should be your goal, really.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day.
Because what's the point in doing it if you don't, love it enough to want to do it every day?
Right.
Yeah.
I'd say for me, I've had my PC for probably about 1.5 years, and it took me 6 months just to talk myself into actually buying my computer. Because to Woody's point, I didn't want to buy the PC with the sole purpose of streaming, because I knew realistically it was going to take me 12 to 18 months minimum to get the return on the investment, just to break even on just the computer, not to mention all the, peripherals and everything else you'd have to buy. So I was like, let me get a PC just to PC game, because I'd had so many friends for years tell me about how much better than console it is and all this stuff. And I haven't gone back to console unless I've
PC, like no chance.
Unless I'm like connecting a
It's
console to my PC to do YouTube or to stream it. Like I haven't, like I just don't have an Xbox hooked up in the living room to play, their exclusives or anything like that. Like I think the last time I plugged a console in was to play Spider-Man on the PS4. That was it. But I got my PC, talked to my wife about it, and I was like, here's ballpark what it's going to cost. She was like, okay, if you can afford it and you want to do this, then I support you. So I bought it and just slowly started doing the Twitch thing. Never have once cared about the numbers or how much money I thought I was going to make or anything like that. I've literally done it because I wanted to share the love and the passion for gaming that I've had for 25 years of my life. And just wanted people to see games through my perspective. And hopefully be able to provide some laughs and stories, meet some awesome people, which I can definitely say that I have through, the Twitterverse and gaming, and I'm sure that will continue. A goal of mine is to eventually get to a con, right? Obviously the big one being TwitchCon. Get out there and just like meet a lot of these people face to face, and be able to sit down and share those stories and continue to make memories and things like that, because there are people that I've met through these platforms that I certainly consider friends, and keep in contact with, and could sit down and probably at this point not even have to play a game. We could just sit in a Discord call for 3 or 4 hours and just talk about whatever. And I think that's the big win for me. It's not, I personally don't think that I'm in a position to ever make this a full-time, a full-time gig. I'm just not in a position in my life to do that. And my job, when I get back to work, keeps me very busy, and raising a 1-year-old right now and everything like that. I do it because I just love it, and I don't think that that'll stop anytime soon, honestly. I would think that the day that I hit the go live button and I wasn't happy to do so would be the day that I need to find something else to do. And I've said that about my career in the casino industry too. The day that I go to work and I'm no longer passionate about what I do, then it's time to quit and find something else to do. If you're truly not happy streaming, and there are going to be bumps in the road, guys. I mean, this is not easy to build. It's, some people will tell you it's like hitting lightning in a bottle to be able to just start and get lucky enough to blow up. But if you grind at it, put the work in, do the networking and all the steps necessary, and just don't give up, and keep at it, you can truly turn it into whatever you want it to be. That's the beauty about this, right? Is that you're going to get out of it whatever you put into it. So it frustrates me a lot when I read comments on Twitch and Twitter and things like that. And they're like, man, nobody ever comes to watch my stream, blah, blah, blah. I don't get any viewers. And I think it's hard for the new streamer to pull back and look at themselves objectively and say, well, why don't I get the viewers that I want? Like, it's a lot of finger pointing and, passing the buck and blaming everything else other than looking at yourself and saying, what can I do better to improve my own content?
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people understand that, like, most of the time, the thing that makes you grow isn't really like streaming. It's the things that you put in outside of streaming.
Yep.
That is actually allowing you to grow. Things that you're putting on YouTube, things that you're putting on TikTok, Twitter, whatever else.
Anything else?
Hanging out on other people's streams, literally just making friends, like stuff like that. That is what actually gets you to grow, not just
being online,
clicking go live and streaming for 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
No.
And literally, in raiding at the end is so important. Like, raid every single time somebody.
Yeah.
Because if you're raiding streamers that are,
but also don't raid like somebody. Like, what was it the other day? Someone hosted Jordan for like 20 people, which don't get me like, and you can if you send 20 people to a streamer with like 5 or less viewers, guaranteed that person's gonna be in your chat the next day or the next time you stream. They're probably gonna follow you. They'll follow you back. You talk to them. You'll probably have a new friend, right? But if you host somebody, and Jordan like said this to him too. He's like, I mean, when you host Jordan, who has over 1,000 viewers, and you host him for 20, like, it's not like, it's better for you to spread that to somewhere else, to a community that you can actually like merge with.
It's better to raid down, not up.
Oh God, yeah.
Or at least at a
ballpark.
At the same time, like, I'll raid somebody that's got like 50 or 60 or whatever viewers, but it's somebody I want my community to meet. Like, say I discovered somebody who's just genuine or fantastic, or like I met somebody who does a lot of charity work or something like that, and I'm like, you guys need to meet this person. And then I'll do it that way. But I completely agree. I'll usually raid like somebody who doesn't have hardly anybody in their stream, because I'm like, hey, let's go pump them up. Let's like hype it up, like show them some love.
Right.
But there are those exceptions where, like, it's you want your community to also meet different kinds of people too, because you can create friendships all over the place
Oh, absolutely.
like
And
that.
I've seen you rally the troops several times on Twitter. Like I think one of the last ones that you did, I saw and I joined in on. I think I liked the post, I retweeted it, I joined the stream myself, and somebody who had, I think, regularly like 2 viewers by the time I got to their stream had like 24.
Yeah,
Because your goal
fun
was
to do
to
that.
get them to affiliate, like just, plucking somebody out and like, let's
Mhm.
make their day and get them to affiliate. And that, just by itself, like just a random act of kindness also can, help build friendships. Like if you're the reason that somebody gets to affiliate, that streamer is never going to forget that
Right.
It's true.
ever.
It's true.
I will say there have been times I've seen people who will post on Twitter like, I don't understand, like I've been, streaming for this long and nobody comes to my streams, and I'll go watch their streams. And there was one, I kid you not. I go into a stream. I don't say anything, obviously. Like I want to see what happens, right? I get there. Kid's paused on his game, right? This is what I see for 3 minutes straight. 3 minutes straight. Does not look up, does not look at his game, doesn't look at, like, just literally like laughing at things on his phone. And I'm just like, this is why.
Yeah.
Right.
This is why. Like, you
Honestly,
cannot
like the
behave like
most
that.
important thing, and it's so hard though too. Like you have to keep on talking as much as you possibly can.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
because someone will come in your chat. They're not gonna make themselves known right away, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like if you don't say a word, then why would they?
Right.
Right.
So
Right.
it's like even if you're just like self-commentating shit or whatever it may be,
Yeah.
like you need to keep on talking as much as you possibly can.
If
That's
you're
what
not
that's
good
what I.
at it, practice off stream.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Narrate everything. You narrate your showers, narrate cooking, narrate literally everything you do, because if you don't practice, you're not going to get better. And then when people come in and you're just sitting there, where's my controller? You're sitting there and you're just like this, and all they can hear is like the clicking of this or your mouse and keyboard, and like you're not engaging. Why would they stay?
Right.
It happens all the time. And for the love of God, stay off your phones. Unless it's like you have to check something real quick and then put it down, that's fine. But so many people, like, I'll go in and they're just like sitting there scrolling. And they're like, oh
And
my gosh, I need to post this in Discord. Hold on. I'm like, you can post that in Discord when you're done. It is
right.
not that important. Like,
No,
come on.
and I've had people during my Overwatch streams, like if I'm in the middle of like a game deciding team fight, like I'm still like glancing at chat, and they're like, how do you do that? They're like, how do you sit there in the middle of a fight that could cost you the game and you're like reading comments and talking back and forth to people? I'm like, because that's how important it is to me. Like that fight could take 60 or 90 seconds to where I'm just not talking to any of you. Like if I can hold a conversation while, communicating, while trying to win a fight or things like that. And I've had people drop follows just for that. They're like, if you care that much, then, this is somewhere that I want to be. And,
Right.
and I'm a fan of a show on CNBC called The Prophet that Marcus Lemonis does. And there's an episode that he said one time, if I walk into a business and I'm not greeted by somebody within the first 5 minutes, I leave and I will never go back to that business to shop. And I'll never recommend anybody go to that business, because if you don't care about customer interaction, then why would I want to spend my money there? And Twitch is no different. You have a very small window to make a very good first impression. And as a small streamer, you're constantly making that first impression with everybody who comes into your chat, because they're all new. They're new to you. You're new to them. And, if you have no idea, you can have somebody jump into your Twitch stream that's got 10K followers on Twitter. And if you ruin that first impression or give them something negative, they could blast you, and that's it.
Yeah.
Just like that. So it's, a lot of those things kind of all encompassing, putting that together, can really help make or break, your Twitch career, so to speak. So, definitely a lot of good advice and points and things like that. Before we let you go, and then finish up with our last segment. Something that we want to do with every one of our guest streamers that we have on the podcast is go through a 60-second lightning round of questions to see how many we can get through.
Let's go. I was
and
born
then
ready for this.
and then yeah, so you thought this was gonna be easy today. Just
Nope, let's
sit
go.
back and chat and get everybody to learn a little bit about you and see if we can't pick out any type of funny answer. So people will be able to see the questions that I'm pulling from in the YouTube VOD, but I got a stopwatch. I'm going to time it. And then we'll just kind of see what we come up with here. So,
All right, let's go.
all right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Would you rather text or talk?
Talk.
What's your favorite day of the week?
Friday.
Nickname your parents used to call you.
I didn't have any, and you just called me Ashley.
What's the last song you downloaded?
Gosh, probably one called Cyberpunk.
What's your favorite holiday?
Halloween. No,
Scale-
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Okay. Scale of 1 to 10. How good of a driver are you?
6.
Would you rather have invisibility or super strength?
Invisibility.
Is it wrong for a vegetarian to eat animal crackers?
Absolutely not.
First celebrity crush.
Oh gosh. I don't even know. It was probably a cartoon character. I don't
wow.
know.
Okay. Place you most want to travel?
Australia.
And last question, maybe the most important, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Oh, don't even get me started on this.
I need an answer.
Hot dog. Hot dog is a sandwich, yes.
It is a sandwich. Okay, well, you're just wrong.
No, okay, that's it. Goodbye. I'm done.
That's it. I can't
Done.
believe we
Done.
ended it on that. It's unbelievable. I've yet to have anybody agree with me that it's not a sandwich. It's going to be hard.
Because, dude, it's literally a sandwich. It's on bread.
Why is it not a sandwich?
Because to me, it's a bun, right? It's not like they're not separate.
Bread.
It's not, it's
bread.
it's like one
But, like,
piece
bread.
of bread.
But okay, question though. A sub is a sandwich.
Yeah. And a hot dog is literally like a sub.
No, a hot dog is not a
yes,
sub.
No.
No.
Stop, no. But it's the same principle. It is a roll that is split, and the ingredients go inside, just like a sub sandwich. It is a sandwich.
No, see, y'all trying to bring logic
no.
into the argument. I'm just trying to say that it's not a sandwich.
Listen, you're just mad because you're wrong. I'm sorry.
But
also,
that's-
it's called
I'm
bags,
sorry.
by the way. It's called bags.
Okay,
No, you're
thanks
wrong
for
on it.
joining
That's
us, Woody.
cornhole.
It is not
That's-
bags.
I swear to God, where I grew up, literally every single person that I have ever talked to called it bags. No one calls it cornhole.
You literally live in
Okay,
a
I
state
can't
that's like 97% corn.
Okay, I literally can't even find the term bags. I have bago, but not bags.
Right.
Okay. What are you like? Maybe it's just your little like your block? I don't know.
My brother down here right now, and he would call it bags too. No one
And
calls
he's
it
wrong
cornhole.
too. It's a family affair. I don't know what to tell you.
Right. I've never.
Maybe it was just in my town because like
Maybe.
Maybe.
everyone I knew called it bags.
Maybe.
No, that's wrong.
And you're-
I see cornhole, bago. Oh wait, there's one cornhole versus bags. I do see that one like way down. I see beanbag toss. But I
would
hate
even
to break
be-
it to you.
I'd
it's
be willing to
cornhole.
give you beanbag toss, but just like I told
Yeah.
you the other day, like when ESPN 8 has all their, like when they do their special, whatever
They always
random
do.
sports days, it is not the bags championship. It is the cornhole
Well, it should
championship
be. Okay, well, it should be.
for very good reason. Look, if ESPN recognizes it as cornhole, it is cornhole.
Can
Okay.
we just say that cornhole's just a way more fun name to say than bags?
Then bags, it is.
Like cornhole.
It is.
Ah, got you there.
I can get
Maybe.
hype for a cornhole game like any day of the week. You say bags, and I'm like instantly depressed. Like I'm just
Well,
gonna
I
go back
destroy
inside.
you. I
I
destroy
hear
you in a
bags and I
cornhole
think
game.
about like what's under my eyes because I don't sleep
Yes,
like that.
yep.
I think that I need to bring concealer to the party. Like
Yeah.
I don't. Oh man.
Yeah, for sure. This was fun. This was a lot of fun.
It was. Thank you guys for having me.
No, thank you for
Absolutely.
being the guinea pig and helping us figure out the whole 3 webcam chat thing. Guys, again, like I said, the VOD will be up. The entire interview will be up on our YouTube channel. I'll probably end up posting it on Twitter so that we can
Woohoo.
get it all retweeted. Anybody who came from Pop's chat into Woody's, thank you guys so much. Feel free to leave comments and everything like that. Even on our Twitter, suggest who you would want to see as another guest on here. Topics change week to week, but I think we covered a lot of good ground here. And all of Ashley's socials will be on the YouTube VOD as well. It's PopSixxSquish, 6 with 2 X's.
Mm-hmm.
That's her Instagram, her Twitch, and her Twitter, all the same handle. So, guys, please go drop her follows, watch the streams, check out Twitter, all that good stuff. You won't be disappointed. And just thanks again for hanging out with us for an hour. Woody and I are going to keep things going, discuss a little bit of the Fortnite news, and then we're going to wrap things up.
All right. Well, thanks for having me, guys. You guys have a good night.
You too.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye.
All right. So let's finish this up
We
with
vibing.
the Fortnite news of the day. So I got onto Twitter earlier today and I saw, Nick F30 and a couple other people saying, there's this hashtag trending like, thank you, Epic Games. And I'm like, first thing I thought was, that's it. Fortnite's dead. It's over. But actually what happened was...
No, they had like a big... They threw out a big announcement.
It's like huge
Long Twitter
announcement.
thread. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm reading the
They
Fortnite
actually
competitive,
communicated. Wild.
and
right.
there's a lot of pinned tweets here, so you guys can read more in detail, and I'll cover some of the summary of it here. So they said last month, we said we'd provide our evolving 2020 competitive roadmap. Today they wanted to give updates on where they're at. They said that because of the coronavirus and everything going on, all physical events will be canceled, so the rest of the competitions for 2020 will be held online. There will not be a World Cup this year because of the limitations of cross-region online play. They go on to say they don't know when a return to large in-person LAN events will be practical, but they did announce that they are hopeful to have a Fortnite World Cup in 2021, which that news alone blew up the internet. The fact that World Cup will be a thing, hopefully in 2021. They're bringing the FNCS back each season for the rest of the year. All online competition. They're doing cash cups differently, so they're going to ensure players can hop into competitive matches with cash prizes on a routine basis. They've been iterating on how players earn points as well as changing the structure. 2-step cash cups will qualify a top group of players into a final lobby. Third-party events, they're going to continue to try to bring those for as many players as possible, all also held online. And then they are bringing back official broadcasts starting with the FNCS Invitational this weekend. I believe it starts May 1st.
Yes.
And it says, I think it's May 1st in the Middle East. Week 1 broadcast starts on Twitch, 1 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. So literally everything that Epic announced today hit a home run with the Fortnite community. I've seen memes all day that said, oh my God, watching all the Valorant people leave Valorant to come back to Fortnite is just like LOL. And I think it's the first positive thing that Fortnite has done in the last couple months.
Oh, easily.
Easily. They announced FNCS about a week ago and it got some hype, but this is, it's literally something that is going to span the entire year just for people to get ready for World Cup 2021. With how successful it was last year, you've got to assume that if they can build any type of momentum, there'll be more than $30 million in prize money on the line. For somebody who has been pretty vocal and, you've been pretty unhappy with where the game is at currently, and the news still doesn't fix the root of the problem that the game still has right now. But like you said, they're communicating.
It sort of does. Like the main issue Fortnite's had for the last 6 months to a year was that they didn't say shit. They literally didn't say anything. They stopped communicating. They stopped doing patch notes. They stopped doing just all of that. And that's what has been a really nice breath of fresh air with Valorant. And I feel like Epic has realized that. And since Valorant has come out, kind of come out here, been extremely vocal, extremely interactive. I think Epic has realized that, and they've, Valorant's kind of forced their hand to, step it up. So like, communication is the most important thing. Having it, like, I think that was the biggest issue since like the beginning of Chapter 2, Season 1, especially. You had no idea what the future was going to be. You had no clue. You had no clue if there was going to be a World Cup this year. You had no clue when FNCSs were going to happen. You had no clue of anything, really. You had absolutely no idea. Now you do. Now you have an idea. Okay, FNCS is pretty much guaranteed every single season. You're going to have something leading up to World Cup next year the entire time. And it's great. Like, that's a really good thing, especially for a competitive player that you have, especially for, like, people that, especially orgs too. Like, when you have people trying to get signed, a lot of orgs stopped signing Fortnite players because they had no idea where the fuck the game was going to go. They had no idea, okay, well, if I sign a player now, what the hell is he going to play in? If they're not having events, what is he doing? Right? So, like, you're probably going to see a lot more people be signed in probably the next coming months. Wouldn't doubt it.
Yep.
Because there's guaranteed FNCSs, World Cups, Cash Cups, everything, etc. And that's great. They still have bugs to fix, in the game. Obviously, it's still, there's still some of those issues, but they've, in the last few weeks or so, they've came back pretty good. And I don't know whether I go back to it. I have no idea. I love Valorant though, but we'll see. We'll see. It's good to see though. It's great to see.
Oh, definitely.
Like I've said, I still love Fortnite, and I still really love to want to go back to that game. But I don't know. It's gonna take a little bit more. It's gonna take like a couple patch notes to go out and be like, all right, we fixed this, and this. We removed skill-based matchmaking, and we're good. We put out a rank system that actually makes sense and is rewarding, and you have all this going forward. That's for me personally, though. But like, still, this. I mean, even if I don't play Fortnite, I still love watching events. Like, I like if they had a World Cup, I would 100% be glued to my screen watching it. I'd go to the event actually. If they could have a LAN event right now, I'd go. So even just from a viewer standpoint, it's fantastic.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that at all. I mean, it's definitely big time news. And it's the shot in the arm that Epic needed, because the biggest thing that they've been missing, not only for a while, but I think it was just more blatantly obvious as soon as Valorant hit, was the communication piece. Now, again, this is only one day of tweets, right?
Right.
Granted, it's huge news. Now, the thing is that if they're bringing back official broadcasts, how they can double down on this is if they bring back the right people.
Right.
To do like the finals for FNCS and things like that. Like if they could, if they could somehow,
Fortnite's always had a pretty damn good crew when it comes to that stuff.
To casting, right? Like if they can,
Mala, Monster, like, I mean, those guys are extremely dedicated to the community. Anything Epic wants of them, they'll do.
Right.
And they've done themselves outside of like official things. They've made broadcasts themselves. Epic's very fortunate to have the very passionate community that they do.
Even if you bring, the World Cup casters back, and you bring like Golden Boy and Courage and get Lupo involved, and bring Jordan back and get a lot of those guys in there and just create like several like 2 or 3 man teams that will do a lot of the broadcasts, for the deeper that the FNCS goes and things like that. That's a way that they can really double down and really kind of bring some attention to their events. Again, and then as we get closer to 2021, that the hype's going to build for the World Cup, and once they start launching the qualifiers and and things like that, everything will be great. But it's good to see. I think the gaming universe is a better place with competitive Fortnite in it, if it's done the right way. So competition's a good thing. So we'll see, how Epic can kind of carry this along, and then as well as what Valorant does to continue doing what they're doing. I know Ranked is live. I know that their tweet said that they can pull it at any time if they experience issues. So far, I don't think that they have.
I just had higher ping, but that was about it.
So I'll probably dive in tonight and play, one game and get kicked from the rest of you guys except Wyoming. So he and I will just have to be the best duo in Iron ever.
Dude, I like in Wyoming. If you're still in chat, dude, like I really do feel bad, and I know you said don't, but I've never seen that in a game before. I don't know. I feel like it's really stupid for them to restrict people playing placements with each other when no one has a rank yet. Like literally no one has a rank. And they after one game they're like, nope, too high of a skill disparity. Like I don't know. It was just weird. It was really weird. If we finished our placements and one of us was we were like plat or something and we're trying to play with someone that's I don't know what all the ranks are, like bronze or silver. I don't know. Like if you have that type of thing, sure. Obviously that should be how it is, but like you already have your ranks though, like that would make sense. But literally at the moment, like this just went live like 2 hours ago. Like no one should have restrictions in my opinion yet.
Right. Yeah, I've never seen it. Like if you're saying that it's 5 placements, like Overwatch doesn't do that, to my knowledge, with placements. Like if we all were to start season 22 together, like you, me, Wyoming, Shazam, and everybody else, it wouldn't stop us from playing together until we all got RSR.
Exactly, and that's what
all
I'm
that's going to happen is that
that's
it's going to
it,
put
yeah.
us against people that are closer to my MMR because I'm the highest one in the lobby.
Right.
So we'd
Exactly.
probably be playing all of our placements in Diamond, and then it would put you all, it place you all accordingly. But
Right.
for it to happen in placements like that I would agree, it's very odd. But
And
hopefully,
I'm sure there's a good reason for it.
oh
Honestly,
yeah,
I mean,
I'm sure there is.
I wouldn't be surprised if they come out tomorrow because I'm sure I'm sure we're not the only people that it happened to. Obviously, I doubt I'm sure there's plenty of people that are like that were trying to play with buddies or something, and then they had that type of issue, and they're like,
Right.
okay, what the fuck, right? So I'm sure they might come out tomorrow and be like, hey, this is why, and then I'll be like, okay.
Yeah, I would rather them. If there is a true issue, I would rather them, address the issue, whole comp offline, fix it, and relaunch it. And just address it instead of trying to like patch it while it's live. Like just do it the right way. Don't give us a band-aid fix. Like and so far they've done that, right? They've investigated everything thoroughly. They fixed it. They're listening. So hopefully there'll be a fix, but I'm kind of interested just to see, where I end up getting placed and how long it's going to take to climb out of Iron to get to Bronze and things like that. So
where I'm getting placed, and then you just immediately associate yourself with Iron.
Yeah, it'll be me, Wyoming, and Jeff, because Jeff said the same thing on Twitter. We'll be the best 3-stack Irons ever seen. It'd be great. It'd be fantastic.
I would like to know where I'm gonna place. I don't know. I have no idea. Either way, I'll climb wherever. I don't give a shit.
I would be shocked if I placed, because it goes like, what is it, like iron, bronze, silver, gold, plat?
I think so.
What is the Valorant ranking system? I'm going to look it up real quick. 7 ranks explained. Or no, so it's mercenary, soldier, veteran, hero, legend, mythic, and immortal. So I'll start out at mercenary. If I placed like veteran or higher, I'd be shocked. Which for me, I think it's fine.
What's the
what's the bottom tier?
Yeah, what are they technically called?
So at least according to this, oh, never mind. I think hang on. Articles outdated, updated versions here. So maybe they. Okay, so they changed the names.
Wait,
So they've.
okay, yeah, there's iron, bronze, silver. It goes iron, bronze, silver, gold, plat, diamond, immortal.
Okay,
And
so yeah,
then
I'll definitely be
Valorant is the last
iron,
one
and it
with
looks like everyone has 3 tiers. So if
yeah.
I placed any higher than like bronze 2, I'd be shocked.
I would like to think that I would probably be placed at least. I'm gonna guess I'm gonna be somewhere silver gold.
I would say you're gold. At least I was gonna say you're like gold 3.
Really?
Yeah, I think if you're depending on how they do their placements, like I don't know how they weigh the system. Like I don't know if it's wins
If
and
it's
losses.
Like solely based on the 5 games or whatnot and everything.
Right. Like do you like how much do your stats play into it? Is it literally just wins and losses? Like could you literally go -15 every game but go 5-0 and get placed in platinum? Like I don't know. How to get ranked? Oh, before being able to play ranked, you have to play 20 unrated matches to unlock the competitive game mode. After you unlocked ranked, you'll have to play a few games to see where you rank. Your performance will have a greater impact in the beginning so that good players more easily can get to their true rank. And your rank will not carry over. So it sounds like it'll be a complete reset. But it also sounds like with the full launch, you'll have to replay 20 games in the public matches before you unlock comp, which I guess will kind of help against Smurf accounts. Because
I can tell you right now,
20 games of Valorant is going to take a while.
Shroud's stream, and he's diamond. He is diamond 3. So,
well, yeah, I can't imagine they placed anybody in Immortal. Probably didn't even place anybody in Diamond. Like your high-end guys are probably getting placed plat for the first time, and then they're climbing into Diamond in Immortal. And then I'm also curious.
You know what I should do?
What's that?
I should update the form.
Oh yeah, for your tournament for sure.
Add a question to there.
Like what is your rank?
Valorant rank, if applicable. I won't make it like a required question or something. I don't know. Or you can just put NA.
That's a good idea. But yeah, guys, this has been another fantastic episode. Once again, huge thank you to PopSixxSquish for joining us for a large majority of the podcast. We got a lot of good conversation and information about kind of how to market yourself as a Twitch streamer, things to look out for. Kind of learned a little bit about how all of us got started, and hopefully you all enjoyed it. We're able to learn something from it, and we'll go check out some of her content because she's definitely an awesome person. You know, I'm probably gonna hop off, and I can definitely see myself playing Valorant ranked tonight and doing some other stuff. I got a couple other videos to upload to our YouTube channel. The VOD for the podcast, guys, will be up. I'm probably going to take tonight to edit it, and then I'll probably upload it Saturday morning. Hopefully it'll be live sometime Saturday afternoon to check if you want to hang on to it and kind of re-listen to the conversation. But as always, thank you guys so much for coming out to Woody Stream, listening to it. Check out the VODs. You know, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. The Modern Gaming YouTube channel. All the podcasts go up there. Continue to check out the stream for the podcast to catch them live, and then all the content that Woody puts out. I'm trying to put videos out on the YouTube channel 3 or 4 days a week, but any support is always appreciated and never goes unnoticed. So we got one more down in the books. Kind of crazy that we're 5 episodes in already.
We're rolling, dude.
I know. What are your plans tonight? What do you got going
Oh, fucking Valorant rank, dude.
There you have it, guys.
Literally all night.
That's it. Guy's not going
Literally
to
all
sleep.
night.
So, for Woody and Noble, that's it, guys. Hope you all have a fantastic evening, and we will see you guys back next Thursday, 9 o'clock, for episode 6 of the podcast. Have a good night, guys.
Later, guys.